Oh, break it down. It's bad.
When I was a kid, if they went to parent-teacher conference, it was so bad.
GJ and Max. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN.
WYNG 1410 Dayton. Dayton's ESPN Radio.
Welcome in. It is the Thursday show. Starting next week, so you're starting for one more full day. Dayton's ESPN radio station. And we don't ask you guys to be joining us Cleveland Browns team right now with camp started. Out on the field right now, leading 7-7. Not just Deshaun, but the rest of the Cleveland Browns fan base, as well as really pretty much all teams that are impacted by this decision, including the Bengals, sit and wait for the suspension decision to survive. And we'll talk about that with Nick Wilson coming up here at top of the hour. All right, we welcome you in again into the Johnson Show, 10 a.m. Tonight, we got the TBT on WYNG. The Flyers, the Ohio team, let's hear they have advanced to the championship. And of course, we'll tip off quarterfinal action tonight against West Virginia. Of course, the alumni team for West Virginia will play, by the way. But I love what the alumni teams are the ones who score. That's really get just the best quality basketball. We've seen the Flyers take on different types of teams, of course. They just were able to knock out Jim and the money team just on Wednesday night. Yesterday to prepare the quarterfinal matchup tonight. Take on West Virginia. It's going to be a nice tip-off. Tim Ruby and myself will be on the call live at the University of Dayton. Lena, we continue this TBT. And tweeted out the other day that I love everything about that TBT. It helps with the Flyers because it's enhanced it. But if you have a team that's in the TBT and they make a run, alumni team with nice like UGs, it honestly gives you every March Madness vibe. I mean, right now, NFL training camp, Major League Baseball trade deadline early next week. All right, NBA off-season chatters for winding down. College football, media days are basketball. I saw Sully tweet out earlier today that it feels like it really does feel like there's a certain buzz around the city right now because of this Flyers. The Flyers get scared because of the run, and it being led by CJ Smith and Mike Sully. Guys, so much time talking about the build for this. You have Daryl Davis as the top scout, Steve Sanford, Josh Cunningham, CJ Walker, Trevor Thomas, the Ohio State Buckeyes, had some depth to this roster. Of course, Joe Thomas, Joe State, played Marshall, of course, pretty exciting, to see him out there. So, but the TBT and WING tonight, myself, also pretty excited about that. What you get back here? Oh no.
That would make sense, is that what you were doing? You were coming in to save the day? Everyone's like, hey, hold on, wait a minute. Kev Nash is he's not here, I thought. Oh, hold on, let me make sure your mic is on.
Hello, world.
That was a real rookie move on my part. Jeffrey Thompson says the audio is jacked up, Justin.
How's that now? Better?
It's much better.
It's got to be better, right?
Unfortunately, they can still hear me. That's the problem. But we got the audio, so we were at least live over the radio. It was kind of picking it up somewhat faintly in the background.
Enjoy the show.
You know what we're going to do? Kev Nash just got back from vacation, so he's going to he's going to join the is starting next week. Jeffrey Thompson, shout out to Jeffrey Thompson. Guys, my bad. It was a rookie mistake on my part. I mean, my God, I hit the wrong mic. I've only been doing this full time for 7 years now. You would think that I would know how to work a board. My fault, fellas and gals. So thank you for being patient. But you know what? I can't stand it. We're going to redo this. We're going to restart the show. All right, we're going to restart the show. Here we go. Hey, happy Friday. Welcome in. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Keith Tolliver, he shouts out right away, Super Kev to the rescue. Can you guys imagine? Like, Kev is off this week. If Kev was not here to come in and save the day, to tell Kinner, you know, longtime radio host, to, I don't know, turn your mic on. I mean, would I have done the full 3-hour show? I mean, you guys, honestly, if I would have done the whole show without the mic on, you would have probably said, man, that was one of Kinner's better shows. Silent Kinner is the best Kinner. Am I right? All right, let's start this over, shall we? It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Mine is Kev Nash, kind of with Kev Nash. Here on a Friday. Kev Nash will be back on the air with us coming up on Monday. But I hope everyone having a good day. He still says a horrible echo. there. Let's see if that helps. Thank you guys. We're working on the technical issues. Kev came in and saved the day a little bit ago. Should be good to go. But the TBT and WING coming up later on tonight. Shout out to our sponsors. Of course, the Cordalis Law Office. Appreciate Carl Cordalis and his team for being a part of the TBT run here on 1410 Wing AM. Timothy's Bar and Grill. I saw Marty sitting on the bench just the other night. Before that, I saw Nick. So those guys are awesome. I love working with them. But they're part of the fun here that we're doing on the station. Hell, you could even see Tim's logo right there on the shorts. Me and Norm are sitting there doing the game, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard Flyer fans walk up and say, "Holy crap, that's Tim's logo right there on the shorts." That takes a lot of people back to their UV days as well. They go beyond just the basketball games themselves. Pretty cool branding opportunity for them. The Big Hoopla, the organizing committee that helps bring us the first four every year. They're a part of the TBT action on 1410 Wing AM. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, Orion Sports Medicine. Again, appreciate all of the sponsors who jumped on board with us here on 1410 Wing AM. All right, we got a lot to get into. Kyler Murray, the homework clause. Everyone's all fired up about the homework clause. Kyler Murray, he's just so distraught. He couldn't believe how disrespectful it is that we would actually think that he needs a homework clause in there. And then the Cardinals, cowards, they back down and they take it out. I don't have a problem with them including the homework clause in the contract. I have a problem with them taking it out. We'll talk about that around the corner. Also, Patrick Mahomes, he's frustrated. He's actually amused. He says it's funny. He finds it very funny that guys like him and Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray have to continue to prove it after proving so much. I'm going to tell you why that theory of his is not just wrong, but it's as funny as what he thinks his theory is. We'll get to that around the corner as well. Lots to dive into. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash when we come back.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Today we have partly sunny skies with a high of 84 degrees. Overnight, mostly clear and dry with a low of 59 degrees. And tomorrow, partly cloudy skies and a high of 84 degrees. And I'm Lorna Stevens for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather is brought to you by Cullet Propane. 98% of their customers recommend Cullet. If you wouldn't recommend your current supplier, check them out at culletpropane.com.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You use the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. Beat the heat before you hit the road with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Looking good, Mrs. Dubs.
The head groundskeeper at Thad's Golf Course just retired.
We need to find someone in the next 2 weeks. Someone with botany and management experience.
He needs a replacement because the greens are already looking a little rough.
Aeration. They need to know it all.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers with a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freights, new equipment. Call Cody. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
Save 11% on all your outdoor storage needs at Menards. The Suncast 8x10 tree-mount storage shed keeps your garden tools, bicycles, and outdoor equipment organized and protected with its reinforced walls and floors, metal hinges, and lockable handles. Get peace of mind with 11% off all Suncast storage sheds now at Menards. Good through July 31st. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay, Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uzomah.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uzomah and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uzomah?
Yep. Switching to Uzomah is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uzomah.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uzomah.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uzomah. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Okay, import footage. How is the hard drive already full?
Jawan's Pilates studio converted to entirely virtual classes.
MPEG.
But leading and editing sessions is stretching her too thin.
It says render failed. What I do?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Take Audible along this summer and listen to best-selling audiobooks, exclusive originals, and podcasts. Start with a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen A. Smith, and everyone knows my feelings on Cowboys fans. But really, Justin Kenner, you're a Cowboys fan and a Browns fan? Good Lord have mercy. I don't know what the hell to do with y'all. I really don't.
It's the Justin Kenner Show with Kev Nash. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. Justin Kinner with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Off yesterday due to Reds baseball. I want to touch on this story that, of course, made its rounds, and then we'll move on from it. But the Kyler Murray situation in Arizona, I mean, just what a freaking mess that is. And again, we always have to do this thing where the organization's always mistreating the players. The organization that is giving these athletes all this money, the most money that pro athletes have ever made in the history of the world, is happening right now. But yet the athletes, they're just being mistreated by these mean, bullying organizations, right? Give me a break. The Arizona Cardinals included a stipulation in the contract for Kyler Murray that they wanted him, of course, what many people are calling the homework clause, that, hey, you know what, maybe we really would like you to start focusing at least 4 hours a week of your time on independent film study outside of what we already do in practice. And I find it, I don't understand what's wrong with that. I mean, here's the thing. I know that it's wrong to have that in there, but I don't think it's wrong of the team to have it in there. I think it's wrong that they have to put it in there. Do you really think, like, this whole idea that the Cardinals were just bullying Kyler Murray for no reason? I mean, you've got to be kidding, right? You mean to tell me that Kyler Murray, that there's not one single example or situation of this being an issue that the Cardinals felt justified in putting this in the contract to begin with? It's a distraction because Kyler Murray had to go and put on a show for the media yesterday and say, I find it so disrespectful that you guys would even question my work ethic. The media is not questioning your work ethic there, sir, because of anything in particular. They're questioning your work ethic because of what was in the contract. And what was in the contract was based on, well, your work ethic. You mean to tell me, I mean, work ethic, attention to detail, every little thing you could think of, that, I feel like the Cardinals were justified in putting it in there. And then there was backlash, and then it became a distraction, as everybody said. It wasn't, if it was a distraction, it all stems back to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has been not a problem, but Kyler Murray's attitude and his approach to the game has not sat well with media, with the organization, for a while now. That's why stuff has leaked out of that organization about his leadership and the concerns about his leadership. And we talk about concerns amongst leadership concerns amongst quarterbacks all the time. Hell, I've been a Browns fan for a while now, and that's all we seem to talk about is the leadership issues within the former Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, right? That's all we talked about: leadership, immaturity, his overall ability. Kyler's a significantly better quarterback, and that's why, again, the noise of Kyler Murray is worth the talent of Kyler Murray is worth the noise that comes with, well, extending Kyler Murray. The statement from the Arizona Cardinals on Kyler Murray's updated contract, which has now omitted that part from the contract. After seeing the distraction it created, we removed the addendum from the contract. It was clearly perceived in ways that we never intended. What? Our confidence in Kyler Murray is as high as it's ever been. Doesn't mean it's high. And nothing demonstrates our belief in his ability to lead this team more than the commitment reflected in this contract. I agree. Got to stop doing this thing where I've heard it on shows all day and all day yesterday, and it just made me want to scream. Kyler Murray, he's not the victim here. Kyler Murray brought this upon himself. If there was ever any question, if there was never examples out there of Kyler Murray being distracted or not putting the work ethic in or putting the time in to study and to do all the stuff that's required to be a quarterback in the National Football League, then this never would have even been brought up by ownership to begin with. The ownership was looking for reasons to technically not extend him technically, but they were looking for reasons to keep him in there. I highly doubt that they would risk the perception of them looking bad by putting that in there. This is on Kyler Murray and Kyler Murray only. And then going out there yesterday, trying to play the victim of not, first of all, this actually, when he stated that, he really didn't realize how big of a deal that this was in there. Again, that goes back to the leadership questionability of him to begin with. Attention to detail. Attention to detail has been a concern for Kyler Murray in his studying habits. And guess what? In the attention to detail, guess what he missed in the contract that he signed? Oh, yeah. They're requiring me to do 4 hours of independent film study so that I can, keep my job and keep my guaranteed money. I don't think that's that big a deal. Money is the ultimate motivating factor out there. And if the guy won't study and put in film study during his off time, guess what? There's a good way to motivate him to do it. $150 million guaranteed. I'm Justin Kinner. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash here on 1410 ESPN Radio. I have absolutely zero problem with the Cardinals putting that in the contract. I have a ginormous problem with them taking it out. I have a ginormous problem with them taking it out of the contract. And let's be clear, I think what bit the Cardinals in the ass, you got to understand, how did that get out? Kyler Murray didn't want that out. Kyler Murray and his agent did not want that leaked to the media that, oh, yeah, by the way, part of the contract is that you have to put in 4 hours weekly of independent film study to stay in good standing with the team to get this fully guaranteed money. Kyler Murray, that would have been embarrassing for him to put out there for himself, as you can see. So he didn't do it. So the team did it. The team, in my opinion, leaked this information, or at least it's not really leaked because it's not like it was classified or that nobody could see it. But I think they made sure it got in the hands of the right people, because I think what the Cardinals were doing was setting themselves up for the future of, okay, if things start to go downhill and we want to get out of this contract, we already know the guy's work ethic as far as film study, and he signed this contract stating that we can take away the guaranteed money if he doesn't fulfill his studying habits. Then you know what? We're perfectly justified in doing so because he signed the dotted line. And the people that tried to say, well, the Cardinals, that of course he signed it, he wanted the fully guaranteed money. In what world do teams have leverage anymore? In what world do teams have leverage anymore? Kyler Murray has all the leverage. If Kyler Murray had a problem with that bullet point in the contract, he wouldn't have signed it to begin with. He only has a problem with it because it's basically come out now that it's a problem. And that's what I just don't understand. Is we always have to do this thing where, oh man, the team's mistreating the athletes have never been treated better in their lives. Athletes are treated better today than they were 10 years ago, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Stop it with, the team is mistreating Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray isn't fulfilling his end either. I'm not saying the team is perfect, but the team is giving him everything that he's one of the highest paid. He got his extension. He wasn't even due up for one yet, but he threw a temper tantrum and he got it. Oh, but he's being mistreated. He got paid ahead of time. How is that being mistreated? He got a lot of guaranteed money. How is that being mistreated? If anything, the Cardinals are the one that are risking more than anything else. So the fact that Kyler Murray's the victim in this is just laughable. It's just laughable. All right, moving on. I found this also interesting from Chiefs camp a little bit ago, earlier this afternoon. Patrick Mahomes was talked about some of the criticism that has been thrown his way. And it just got me, I don't understand why quarterbacks feel like they're not allowed to be criticized in any capacity, because whether you think you should be criticized or not, the bottom line is you're always going to be criticized because they get the ultimate praise and the ultimate criticism when things don't go well. Whether the roster is constructed properly or poorly, the quarterback is to blame for the team's success or lack thereof. The quarterback gets all the praise for all the, the success, and all the shortcomings. They get the blame for that as well. It's just, it's the nature of it. But Patrick Mahomes earlier today at Chiefs camp told the media that he thinks it's funny that him and Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray have to continuously prove themselves. Now, I know that there is probably a racial tone to this and insinuating that, that African-American quarterbacks have to prove themselves more than Caucasian quarterbacks or non-African-American quarterbacks, if you will. And look, I'm not going to pretend and sit there and say that, there's no such thing as any kind of bias towards African-American quarterbacks. But look, it used to be that, oh man, there's no African-American quarterbacks in the NFL. Now more than half the league is African-American quarterbacks. Now it's, oh man, he says that him and Kyler Murray and Lamar and other African-American quarterbacks are being judged unfairly. They're being criticized unfairly. I disagree with that as well. The reason I disagree with that as well is because I don't think any quarterback in the NFL is being criticized because they're African-American. They are being criticized because they're a quarterback, and that's just what happens with quarterbacks. Can you name one quarterback that's not criticized? And if you say Tom Brady, I'm going to laugh at you because you mean the guy that's won 6 Super Bowls, 7 Super, whatever the total is. I mean, it can't keep up with him. That's what the league, it's not a racial thing. It's just quarterbacks get criticized more than any other position out there. They get praised more than any other position out there. They get paid more than any other position out there. What does he mean that he finds it funny that Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and himself have to continually to prove it? Aaron Rodgers just won back-to-back MVPs and is still being questioned as far as, well, I don't know. He hasn't been to a Super Bowl in 12 years. I would say that he's still technically having to prove it, and he just won back-to-back MVPs. And what is this we stuff, Patrick Mahomes? In what world are you being criticized unfairly, more so compared to Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson? Kyler Murray was fighting to get paid a year early. Lamar Jackson is fighting to get paid despite the deficiencies within the pass game, not just from him, but the offense as a whole. Patrick Mahomes was one Evan McPherson field goal away from being back to his third straight Super Bowl. No one's criticizing him, and if they are criticizing him, it's because, well, he turned the ball over a ton last year. And then he cleaned it up, and then when they got to the playoffs, they kicked the Bengals' ass in the first half, and they had an epic collapse. If you have an epic collapse in the postseason, 1 half away from getting back to your third straight Super Bowl, yeah, I think it's okay to question question your performance in that. Why do athletes feel like they can't be criticized? They could be praised. They could be asked for autographs. They could be asked for pictures. They could, get tons of money. They can get tons of money for appearances. They can get all that. All that's so super fine and dandy. They love to be praised. They love to be told how great they are. But my goodness, the second you question their performance, especially if it's a bad one, oh man, we're just treated unfairly. Athletes, we're treated unfairly. I mean, the conversation at the press conference turned into more of a racially, profiled type of situation. I just disagree with that in this particular situation. I'm not doing the whole, there's no such thing as racial bias. I just don't think racial bias plays a role in this particular situation. Patrick Mahomes has been argued since year 2 in the league. People were comically saying he's the best of all time, because he won an MVP and a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP all within the first 2 years as a starter in the league. What criticism was he getting? Evan McPherson, he was an Evan McPherson field goal miss away from getting back to his third straight Super Bowl. What world is he living in? I don't understand it. How, soft, stop being soft. Kyler Murray, oh man, it's just so you got paid. You got your money ahead of time. Lamar Jackson, upset. Lamar Jackson's being held to the same standard that every other quarterback who isn't the most elite passer in the world. It's okay that the Ravens are dragging their feet, being a little cautious about how much guaranteed money to throw his way for how physical of a, not physical, but for what kind of style he plays, in which he does run around a lot, which puts him more at risk to get hurt. I mean, come on. It's not that difficult. Everything in life is risk reward. When you get, I renewed my insurance the other day. I had to tell how many miles a day in a week, in a month, in a year I drive. I drive significantly less than I used to because I'm not out on sales calls anymore. So guess what? I don't have to pay as much for car insurance. I'm not out on the road as much. Oh yeah, risk reward. Okay, there you go. It's that simple. Oh, this quarterback, he runs around an awful lot. Do I really want to invest all my money into a quarterback that is constantly on the run and constantly leaving himself vulnerable to being hit? And oh yeah, on top of that, good passer, not elite passer, but he wants to be paid like an elite passer. And then he wants to be paid for a style of play in which leaves him very vulnerable to getting hurt and missing a lot of time. Oh, but Justin, he has only had 1/2 a season where he got hurt. It's not just about how many times he's been hurt in the past. It's about fearing how much he can get hurt in the future. These teams aren't, the teams have really weird people that work in them. I get that. And I'm not, it is what it is. I'm just going to move on from that one. But the bottom line is he finds it funny that they're criticized, that they have to continuously prove themselves. Everyone has to prove themselves. When Tom Brady threw the interception, his last pass ever as a New England Patriot, he threw an interception. That was the last pass he ever threw as a New England Patriot. Everyone, they were criticizing him. Oh, man, he has to prove he could still do it. Went to Tampa. Oh, man, I don't know. Tom Brady, he didn't look like the old Tom Brady his last year in New England. He looked like old Tom Brady his last year in New England. Pretty sure Tom Brady, after all this time in the league and after all the Super Bowls he won with New England, had to prove it. Aaron Rodgers just won back-to-back Super Bowls, won back-to-back MVPs. Pretty sure he gets a lot of criticism. Pretty sure this year he has to prove it. I don't understand. Josh Allen last year, there was many people that said, okay, he got his money. We got to let's see if he can continue to play at a high level. He had to prove it. He proved it. He's pretty damn good. Patrick Mahomes is pretty damn good. Lamar is very freaking good. Kyler Murray is very, very good. But stop with this whole idea that these teams are treating you poorly, because they're not. Especially of all the positions out there, quarterbacks are complaining. You get the most money, the most attention, the most talk segments. Yeah. I'm Justin Kinner. It's the Justin Kinner Show right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We'll step away for a few moments. 518-1410, by the way. Phone lines are open. I mean, this Kyler Murray thing. Like I said, the Cardinals would have never put that in the contract unless he had done something numerous times to the point to where it was a concern with him sitting in there. You know, everyone's like, well, they've never put that. No one else has put that in their contract. Well, okay, so the Cardinals wrong for wanting their quarterback to be held accountable? No. Hey, you know, that's common sense, by the way. If a company is going to invest a ton of money into you, they're probably going to ask a little more of you than others too. And just because other quarterbacks haven't been asked or had a clause in their contract to, hey, we would like you to actually, you know, put a little bit more effort in the film study side of things. Oh my gosh, the nerve of your boss asking you to, I don't know, study. Can you imagine? Hey, can you imagine, any stipulation that's in any contract out there to ask you to play better or to prepare better or to I just don't get it. I don't get it. And then the Patrick Mahomes thing, I don't understand what he's trying to say. Oh, why do we have to continuously prove it? Because that's what everyone has to. That's what every quarterback has to do. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they have to continuously prove it. Josh Allen has to continuously prove it. Kyler Murray, you signed this big contract. Yeah, if you think you don't have to go into this year and prove it that you were worth every dollar, I don't know what to tell you. Patrick Mahomes, you got that mega contract after winning the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Guess what? Yes, of course you have to prove it. It is what it is. We'll be back. 518-1410. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Blue Angels are back. And for the first time ever at the Centerpoint Energy Dayton Air Show presented by Kroger, they'll be performing with their new FA-18 Super Hornets July 30 and 31st at Dayton International Airport. This year's show features military and civilian demonstrations, historic aircraft, food and fun, along with hands-on interactive events. Tickets are available while supplies last at DaytonAirShow.com. Discount general admission tickets at area Kroger stores.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Not running your business on NetSuite is like trying to sink a putt with a cap pulled over your eyes. NetSuite by Oracle is the #1 cloud financial system, giving you visibility and control over your financials, inventory, budgeting, and more, all in one place. 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control after upgrading to NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. This summer, NetSuite has a special financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/RBI. netsuite.com/RBI.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken is excited to announce their new delicious spicy bourbon chicken sandwich is here. It's the best of both worlds. They're spicy bourbon dippers that you love, brought into a sandwich you'll crave. It's made with their famous spicy chicken sandwich, smothered in their special bourbon barbecue sauce, dripping with flavor on a brioche bun. Enjoy it in a combo with your favorite side and a drink, priced just right at only $6.99, and only available at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken Miami Valley locations. Lee's, famous for spicy bourbon chicken.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every mile. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $35.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Calling all residential HVAC service technicians. Do you enjoy your work but want to be challenged on larger industrial and commercial HVAC systems? Have you chosen to forgo health insurance because your premiums are too high? Did you know that REAK covers 100% of your health insurance premiums for you and your family? If you answered yes to any of these questions, contact REAK Services today. We're hiring dedicated, talented technicians who are looking for a long-term career in the HVAC service industry. Apply today at REAK Services, that's RIECK services.com.
Get your vehicle in gear this summer with 11% off everything at Menards. Valvoline Daily Protection Motor Oil improves fuel economy while protecting against engine wear. Valvoline oils are formulated with advanced additives for year-round engine protection. All Valvoline motor oil is 11% off. Check out Menards Automotive Department today. Good through July 31st. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Timothy's Bar and Grill on Brown Street is a proud sponsor of the Red Scare and the TBT on WING. Go Flyers!
TBT on WING continues tonight. 9 o'clock, the tip-off. Dayton Flyers Red Scare going up against Best Virginia. Quarterfinal action. It's championship week, of course. The TBT tournament will wrap up on Tuesday night with the championship at UD Arena, and hopefully the Red Scare will be in that championship game. They have to win tonight, tomorrow to get there. But right now they've taken on quite a few really good teams. I mean, they just beat the money team, of course, with Jimmer Fredette. And then the team that they beat before that, of course, had their number, the Golden Eagles, which is the Marquette alumni team that had knocked them out of the semifinals back in the bubble in 2020. And that team, I mean, they don't lose in this TBT tournament. So the Red Scare, the fan base really kind of helped elevate it. You know, we were expecting a lot of fans the other night. And then about 20 minutes before tip-off, we're like, man, it's kind of light in here. And then, of course, we had some fans come up and let us know that there was just an absolute downpour happening outside. So a lot of people were waiting in their cars before they came flooding inside, no pun intended, to kind of get their seats and help cheer on the Red Scare to that huge win over Jimmer Fredette's money team. We got Reds baseball coming up here, at least a portion of the game later on tonight. Following this, again, they'll kick off a series against the Baltimore Orioles at Great American Ballpark. 6:10 coverage begins. 6:40 is first pitch. We will have the majority of that game before we hand it off to myself, of course, and Norm Greavy at UD Arena for the 9 o'clock tip-off tonight. You could stream the TBT at wingam.com, or, of course, if you follow the ESPN Dayton Twitter page or me on Twitter at 1410 Kenner, we will tweet out the YouTube stream to where you could tune in and catch it as well. So we appreciate everyone who's been tuning in and hanging out with us as far as that is concerned. But I'm done talking about the Kyler Murray situation. I laugh at how over dramatized this was. I have no issue with the Cardinals putting that in there. I mean, it's no different. I mean, you hear about the Pelicans who just they agreed to give that large extension, of course, to Zion Williamson, but there is a body fat clause in there. I can't remember what the total weight was, but he has to have a certain percent body fat, and he has to keep his weight under a certain amount for him to be able to keep his fully guaranteed money. At that point, is it fully guaranteed? I mean, like Deshaun Watson's fully guaranteed. If you could have 24 sexual assault allegations against you and have no risk of losing any, that's guaranteed money. How can you say it's guaranteed money unless you don't study or unless you get fat? I don't understand. So technically that's not fully guaranteed, right? Like, am I wrong in that? Like that's no different than any other, when you're trying to hit different incentives, that's just an incentive. By not getting fat is an incentive to keeping your money, right? How can you call it fully guaranteed if there's stipulations with it? Deshaun Watson's clearly fully guaranteed. Nick, what up, Nick? Nick says 290 pounds for Zion. So, Nick, he has to stay under 290. Is that the weight? But let me ask you this. We get outraged at everything in today's society. I mean, isn't that fat shaming? Are we fat shaming Zion Williamson that, hey, we're only going to pay you if you're not fat? I mean, how is that more socially acceptable in today's world than telling Kyler Murray, hey, you know what? Can you look at the playbook a little extra? Can you do your damn job, please? Can you just put down the Xbox controller and please just look at a little film? Huh? You want fully guaranteed money? You want paid a year early? You want all that? Can you do your damn job? Huh? Why is that everyone's outraged at? But hey, the Pelicans telling Zion, hey, fat ass, if you could lose a little weight, you'll get to keep your money. If not, we're taking your money. How does that not lead to social outrage in today's society? Please tell me. I don't really have a problem with it. I think it makes sense. I think that at the end of the day, I mean, if they're telling you, hey, we're going to give you this fully guaranteed money, but we need you to stay in shape. I mean, how, right? And I guess I guess that's kind of a normal clause in a lot of contracts as far as telling people to stay in, to stay in shape and that type of thing. But holy moly, I just don't get, I hear Charles Barkley talk about selective outrage all the time. You want to talk about selective outrage? Holy smokes. We're outraged that the Cardinals would require Kyler Murray to do homework, but we're not outraged that a team told Zion, hey, if you get fat, you're not getting paid. And I'm being a little, stretching that just a tad, but you know what I'm saying. It is what it is. But 285. See, what up, Nate Dave? Nate Dave messages in. He says 295. Nick, you say 290. But you know what? We'll go in the middle. We'll say 292, 293 right there. How about that? But that's all I'm trying to say. No problem with the team telling you, hey, do your homework. Do your homework. Is what it is. So, I mean, don't we do that to student athletes? But, remember back in my day when they used to just give an athlete an education, when they would just give an athlete an education in exchange for their services. Now they're all fancy and pay them and stuff. But remember back in the day when, that fancy book learning and stuff that they used to trade for athlete services. They had the same kind of stipulations are on there. Hey, you get this full ride scholarship for your athletic services, but hey, can you go to class? That's required. No one gets mad at that. I think that's a pretty fair thing to do. Hey, we're going to give you this fully guaranteed contract, but hey, if we're doing that, we're investing into you. Can you pick up the playbook, please, Mr. Kyler Murray? Can we try to do that? Maybe if we do that this year, maybe we won't have an epic collapse in the second half of the season. Can we do that, please? Is what it is. All right, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. How about this? How about the Angels potentially talking about trading Shohei Ohtani? Now, I don't look the trade deadline, and we're going to talk about the Reds trade deadline coming up here in a moment. Some new suitors are popping up. We could potentially see Kyler Murray. Got Kyler Murray on the brain. We could potentially see Luis Castillo stay here in the state of Ohio. Doesn't mean he's staying with the Reds, but we could see him potentially stay here in the state of Ohio. I know that'll make Kev Nash happy, or we'll talk with him next week. I'm sure he'll be happy if his team ends up landing him. But I think there's a good chance he stays in Ohio no matter what. I mean, it sounds like the Reds have also not completely committed to the idea of trading Luis Castillo. We'll get into this more in the show, but I for as much criticism as the Cincinnati Reds front office gets, I actually kind of applaud them for not looking so desperate to just acquire anything for him, because I think what I'm hearing from multiple sources that are involved with the Cincinnati Reds have said, hey, that none of the offers that they've received have really kind of blown them away, or they have felt justify sending a legitimate ace pitcher to a staff that could be a Luis Castillo away from winning a World Series. If you are telling the Reds that, man, we desperately need a Luis Castillo to go win a World Series, well, then how desperate are you to win that World Series? The Yankees have come out and said, we're not going to give up our number 1 or our number 2 prospects. Well, then how important is that World Series to you? I mean, the Yankees going more than a decade without winning a World Series. I mean, I would think that the desperation to get that is pretty damn high. If I'm the Reds, I play that. I twist their arm as well. Kudos, doesn't get said often, but kudos to the Reds for not just handing him away, not just giving him away. And there's talks that they may consider keeping him. Which, by the way, no problem with that either. No problem with that either. But Shohei Ohtani is really what I wanted to dive into. Shohei Ohtani fascinates me because it's one of those, we've never seen a player like him in our lifetime as far as Major League Baseball is concerned. There's two-way players, guys who could pitch and also maybe play the outfield and maybe be able to contribute on a good year, a 210 to 212 batting average. If a pitcher can go out there and play the outfield and produce a 210 to 212 batting average, I think you'll be comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when the Reds had Michael Lorenzen. I would get into it with Reds fans all the time. Stop bragging about how good of a hitter Michael Lorenzen is. He's a good hitter for a pitcher, which still means he's one of the worst hitters in baseball. So I've never understood that fascination about Michael Lorenzen and his ability to hit the ball. Okay, super. 210, whatever. I mean, he's still hitting under 200 at that point. Not that impressed. So it is what it is. But then you look at the Shohei Ohtani thing. He's not just one of the team's best pitchers. He's one of the team's best hitters and one of the team's best position players. I mean, the guy literally does it all. He could literally do it all. And it's fascinating to me because we've never seen anything like that in Major League Baseball. I'm not saying there's never been anything like it in Major League Baseball, because there has, obviously, Mr. Babe Ruth. But we have... anyone listening to the show, you ever watch him? That's what I thought. We've never seen anything like it in Major League Baseball, which means Shohei Ohtani, I mean, just from the draw that he is, from the social phenomenon that he is, from the ability to pitch, I mean, being the starting pitcher for the American League in the All-Star game and, starting, in the starting lineup for the All-Star game. I mean, what he's been able to do in his career here in the early goings, we've never seen anything like it. And I think the last I saw his contract, the Angels are getting all of his contributions for $500,000. I don't even believe it's in the millions. Pennies on the dollar. They're getting him, at below cost. While your star $400 million salary athlete, and obviously Mr. Trout, who, by the way, is injured again. Oh, statistically, one of the best ever. Super. He's been to the playoffs once. Who cares? I like guys who win, and I like guys who get to the playoffs, which is why I'm not a fan of the Reds, apparently. But the bottom line is Shohei Ohtani's fascinating. So they're interested. They are open to hearing offers for Shohei Ohtani. I do not believe that the Angels are very interested in trading Shohei Ohtani, but I would have to think that if an organization was willing to give up their entire farm system to get Shohei Ohtani, that I think they would listen. And I think they're going to listen to a lot of offers. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to, is there a deal that'll knock their socks off to the point to where they're like, here, take them. I don't think that offer exists in Major League Baseball. I don't think that there's a team out there that is willing to mortgage the future to get Shohei Ohtani, because the Angels are literally showing you that Shohei Ohtani is not enough to make the postseason. You see what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't it be very silly for an organization to mortgage the future to get a two-way player that we've never seen the likes of in our lifetimes? It would be kind of silly if the Angels have a player at the talent level of what Shohei Ohtani is, And we've never seen anything like it, and yet they still can't make the postseason with them. I mean, it would be kind of a dumb organization to mortgage the future to bring him over. Oh, the Angels just haven't put the right pieces around him. Have you seen the pieces that they've brought in over the last couple of years? You brought in Madden. All right, you've had Rendon. You've had some of the big. You have Trout. You have statistically the best player of all time. You have a generational talent, and beyond a generational talent, a talent that we've never seen the likes of in our lifetimes, and you haven't been able to make the playoffs. So I don't understand that mindset. To me, if I'm going to trade for, if I'm going to give up my entire farm system to be able to acquire a talent like that, he better bring me instant gratification. He better show up and us be instant contenders. I don't think there's a team out there that can mortgage their entire future and be instant contenders just because they have Shohei Ohtani. And I've argued that that's one of the biggest problems in baseball right now is because so much money is put into one or two players. And although there's no cap space, it's still one of those things where it's hard to diversify your money to be able to kind of divulge it throughout your entire roster. I mean, like, that's insane. So Kyler Murray, before this homework clause was brought up, and Kyler Murray, the big headline last week is that Kyler Murray is going to make more money per season than what the entire A's payroll is this season. I mean, come on. And there's no salary cap in baseball, so there's no excuse why we shouldn't be seeing these. We should not be seeing these horrible low payrolls when there's no cap. To where there's NFL teams. I mean, look at the Cleveland Browns. They would love to continue spending money. There's only so many naming rights. There's only so many sponsorships that the Mike Brown could sell for. He loves to start spending money, but you see my point there. Bottom line is, it's just one of those things where Shohei Ohtani is fascinating to me because he's arguably the most fascinating, best player in our lifetime, and yet I don't know what the trade market would be for him. I don't think it would be as much as you think, because the value would be so high that there's not a justifiable return to do it. But the Angels aren't going to be able to afford to pay him. The Angels cannot afford to pay him after they've paid Mike Trout, because if Mike Trout's worth $400 million over the 10-year extension that he got, then Shohei Ohtani is probably worth $700, $800 million. They can't put that into two players. That ain't going to happen. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash when we come back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Frickers heats up summer with boneless brew and barbecue, boneless frickin' chicken wings, Brew City fries, and barbecue rib tips for only $12.99 dine-in only. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Boneless brew and barbecue. Say it with me.
Boneless brew and barbecue.
Remember that Frickers always has barbecue baby back ribs. Frickers serves up whole and half slabs every day. Boneless brew and barbecue at the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Here comes Buddy Guy. And John Hyatt and the Gunners, featuring Sonny Landreth. This Saturday night at Taft Theater, and this Sunday night at Rose Music Center at the Heights. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Buddy Guy and John Hyatt and the Gunners, featuring Sonny Landreth.
Hey, here to tell you about my friends at Cordell Transportation. They're now hiring Class A CDL drivers and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Home daily, dedicated lanes, and no-touch freight. Brand new equipment as well. Medical, dental, vision, and company-paid life insurance. Call Cody right now. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
I'll ring you up in a second. Kim, can you see if we have more acid wash?
Desmona's thrift store is the spot for killer vintage finds.
Oh, that looks fabulous on you. Hey, can you do the register?
But her sales clerk situation feels pretty threadbare.
Oh, yeah, let me clear out that fitting room.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
The sound of you doing is music to our ears. Order on the Home Depot app and get convenient delivery. so you don't have to stop doing when you need something. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Don't send your kids back to school. Send them forward at Staples, the working and learning store.
You want more local content from Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM? Make sure you subscribe to the WING 1410 Dayton YouTube channel, where you can watch all your local shows live or go back and rewatch previous episodes of The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, The Keith Byers Show, Talking Out Loud with Sully, and more. On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER. And ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle. WING 1410 Dayton. Dayton's ESPN Radio.
All right, we welcome you back. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. We got the TBT on WING tonight. It's championship week at UD Arena, the Dayton Flyers Red Scare. They'll tip off coming up later on tonight at 9 o'clock. Former Dayton Flyer Norm Greavy and myself, we will be on the call. It's been pretty exciting doing this. I know it's just a little summer tournament, right? But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like March. You get all the March Madness vibes here in the month of July for the TBT on WING. Dayton Flyers Red Scare basketball coming up later on tonight, 9 o'clock, the tip-off. And I know what you guys are thinking. You guys just don't talk enough football. Well, I'm here to give that to you. Joining us now to talk a little Cleveland Browns football. We've talked Bengals with Willie Anderson earlier. Now we're going to shift gears and talk Cleveland Browns football. As we continue the waiting game. We got Nick Wilson from Afternoon Drive on 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland. He works with Dustin Fox, of course. Excited to have him back in Cleveland. Nick, welcome in, sir. How are you?
Justin, it is an honor to be on the show. And, you know, despite the fact that I never pro football, Willie Anderson of Cleveland. I don't know if you know that.
Willie Anderson. Willie wasn't a big fan of mine, during the Bengals last couple of seasons. Of course, I had to eat crow last year a lot, but he appreciated my humbleness and being able to eat that crow. So we're good now. But yeah, Willie's one of the good ones. That's for sure.
Listen, anytime you can eat crow, just remember little butter, little minced garlic. Maybe if you've got any of the holy voodoo, if you're a meat church person like myself, and by no time that crow will be tasting like the finest chicken you've ever eaten.
And I always say, look, it's not like I'm against the Bengals having success. My goal, not really my goal, but what I had always envisioned and really being excited for was the day that the Browns and the Bengals, they start playing in games that actually mean something and not battling for the bottom of the division. The fact that when the Browns and Bengals play now, there's playoff implications on the line. There's, the home field advantage come playoff time possibly on the line. There's division titles on the line. Browns, Bengals, this isn't, this rivalry, if you will. It's not the one that we grew up with, that's for sure.
Dude, I got to tell you, so I lived in Kettering for 2 years because my dad was in Dayton radio for 2 years when I was in middle school. This is just when the Browns were coming back. Mind you, that the year the Browns came back, the Bengals had the third pick in the draft, so they weren't any good. And the next few years, until Marvin arrived, they weren't any good. It did not matter. You would have, the Bengals fans treated me, the Browns fan, as if I was public enemy number one. And I'm like, there's no rivalry here.